So let's review real quick what we talked about in section 2 of this chapter. That we talked about how 50 can also be written as 5 times 10 to the first power. Now the way I remember this and how I remember that 5 times 10 to the first power is the same as 50 is right here. This 1 in this exponent that you can see right there correlates perfectly with this, the amount of zeros that are in the actual number, the standard form number. So continuing with this pattern, because these two sections are all about patterns, if I had the number 500, well, 500 does not have 1 0 in it as in standard form. It has two zeros in it. So when I go to write that in scientific notation in exponential form, I will write it with the number, the digit, times 10, and then how many zeros are in that actual number, or vice versa, I can write it as how many digits are behind the number that I'm the base number that I'm representing, which in our case is 2. So that is the number of our exponent. Keeping that along, if I had this number, which is written and spoken as 500,000, also the amount of money that I have in my bank account, I would write it as a base number, and the base number, our biggest place value holder, which is our 100,000th place, is a 5. The digit is a 5. And then I count how many place values are behind my largest place value holder. So I count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that, my lovely children, is the number that I'm going to raise that 10 to. That is going to be the exponent in which it is carried. Pretty simple. Now let's look at these two sample problems. According to order of operations, I have to do what's in the parentheses first. So for 9 times 5 times 10 to the first power, I'm going to do my 9 times 5 first. 9 times 5, mentally I know that that is 45. 45 times 10 to the first power. Well, I know that this is going to represent the amount of zeros that I'm going to be adding to the end of it. So my product is going to be 45 with an additional 0 added onto the end, giving me a product of 450. Now let's try the next one. My suggestion to you would be to pause it at this time to see if you can solve it yourself, and then check it with what I have and see if you get the correct product. So this expression says 8 times 8 times 10 to the 4th power. Again, with order of operations, 8 times 8 I know is 64. I'm raising that expression to the 4th power. In my brain, I know that that is going to put an additional 4 zeros on the back of that. Get rid of this. So I'm going to take my 64 and I'm going to put my 4 zeros. 2, 3, 4, giving me 640,000. Now I'll explain to you briefly why this 4 zeros is the same as raising this to the 4th power is the same as adding 4 zeros to the back. So what this means to have a number raised, you're taking your base number, whatever your base number is, in our case it is a 10, and you're actually going to be multiplying it, whatever your exponent is, you're going to be multiplying it that many times, that base number. So because my exponent is a 4, I'm going to be multiplying my base number of 10 4 times. When you do the work out on that, it gives you a product of 10,000. As I said previously in our second section, 10 to the 4th power is a 1 with 4 zeros, and this is the rationale behind it.